are now about to witness the awesome, crushing might of the Eugene S. Robinson. There's going to be no scream. My voice is trash, so forget about that. You just have to imagine it. Show Stopper. Welcome, my friends, to a show that seemingly never ends. This is 401 of the UGS Welcome Show Stomper. I'm your host, UGS Robinson. Doing the show live from Seattle. Where the Seahawks come from. They see there's a Superbowl tie-in, a Stupidbowl tie-in. We're not going to talk anything all about that. We're going to talk about that. Yep. Bob Riley's going to sing us in as he has since 2007 with Stigmata, calling it a just. And the song is called Intro All of Nothing. Still available from Revelation Records in Huntington Beach, California, where they give death to the nightclub. They hit your car with a hammer, and they run your mayor pro tem out of town on the rail, open up a substandard restaurant in Central Florida that will inevitably fail. Listen well.
I'm on my way back nowhere. I took my time with
But I could not see it so clear. I'm taking a real good
Now I'm taking a real good
at your face.
way back there, boy. So
Be a payback and All right. We'll cut the music. So here I am at El Corazon in downtown Seattle. And the rest of the band is super excited because they not only have they not been to Seattle before, but they haven't played here before, and they were all much younger. We're gonna, excuse me, well enamored of the Seattle scene and what it once was, but now is no longer. But like so many other areas that have been on the come up, happy to say that El Corazon is still here. And what you see behind me is, I don't know, some stuff. Now they're posters from other shows, Fu Manchu, and that's Bunwell downstairs sound checking. I will not be sound checking, but you're gonna have to put up with it because there's no door on the green room, and that's what we got. They won't go forever. Yeah, man, fuck it, fuck the Superbowl, Stupidbowl. I mean, look, if you're a degenerate gambler, if you're a sex worker. Who else should care? Well, you're from Seattle because the Seahawks are playing, or you're from New England. I've got no feelings. I got no dog in this hunt. I'm not a degenerate gambler. It's so funny. I've never really cottoned to these. Like I asked my father once for Christmas, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know. Get me a football helmet. I don't want a football helmet because I genuinely was interested in playing football. Me and my buddies, we took our football helmets, put them on, and ran headfirst into walls. That might explain a little bit. We don't want to play football. We just wanted to protect our heads while we did something else that was fucking stupid. I don't know. Is this bothersome, the noise? Because I could just cut the show to 10 minutes. I hope it's not bothersome. That's why I got the headpiece in. So let me know while I take a sip of this delicious, unsponsored water. I tell you, one thing I'm doing a lot of here that I don't do in Spain, I find Europeans are aggressively underhydrated. Like you have to go through like 2 or 3 extra steps to get tap water. That is water that you don't pay for. So, so I'm going to a restaurant. We just went to some Vietnamese place. I got like 4 glasses of water. It's almost like when I used to watch MMA at the bars with the drink minimums. I would just order glasses of water, and I don't even know if it's ordering a glass of water if you're not paying for it. So anyway, yeah, I didn't realize it. Cop friend from jiu-jitsu was like, I got to go to work today. What are you working on Sunday for? Well, it's the Super Bowl. And what the fuck? Yeah, it's in the San Francisco Bay Area. So good that the Boone Wells show in the San Francisco Bay Area is only trambling over Valentine's Day. Yeah, it's not trambling over the Super Bowl, but I don't give a fuck. Okay, but let's go back a little bit in time just to give you a sense of place and placement, why we're here and how it is that we're here. I had no fucking earthly intention, not a single earthly intention of doing 2 weeks in a row on the Isle of Rape and the rapists thereof. Yeah, that's a good point, Enterprise. That is a good point. That is a good point. Do I trust the water that I haven't paid for? Well, you know what? It comes in a glass. I haven't gotten sick yet, even though Cora seems to be suffering from some sort of stomach malady that's gotten me concerned and worried. I don't know. I'm just drinking that, but I got filtered water, so there is that. But in any case, the Rape Island was not what I intended. Again, like last week, to talk about Rose Media, the convicted fraudster, Carlos Watson's new media venture. But it seemed like small peanuts to what my head kept turning to, which is this, this. And of course, like I mentioned, and I'm not going to go into too deep the detail here, but what I mentioned on If the Shoes Fit for the first time yesterday is that a known associate of mine, his name appeared on the Epstein files. And let me clarify the known associate thing. I didn't expect it to be there. His name, I'm sure he probably didn't expect his name to be there. But out of all of the things that this guy has been publicly accused of, most majorly of which has been, what do you call that? When you're aiding and abetting a murder. In this case, probably 8 or 9 murders. The fact that his name appears in the Epstein file as one who was responsible for kidnapping. The guy was taking drugged out strippers, sex workers, and essentially accused of funneling them to Epstein. And his name appeared in the section that was talking about Clarence Thomas, and the name of the person, well, he was in the fight book, and this is how I know him. I don't need to mention any names here. Oh, Eugene, are you protecting? Yeah, you're right. Kevin Weeks. So Kevin Weeks' name appeared. So again, thrust me right back into being obsessed. Yeah, your arts and archives. I actually am going to write that up. But part of it was Squid Pisser there with Cancer Christ. Almost burned the club down last time they played there because they were using flamethrowers, which tends to happen when you use flamethrowers indoors. But that's not the least of it. Maybe I'll go into it a bit toward the end if my voice holds out. So yanked. Yeah, exactly. So it ties in quite significantly. So it yanked me right back into it, which means it blotted out everything. It blotted out all of the international travel. It blotted out the first shows. I'm also have been charged with writing this as a tour diary for New Noise magazine, a French publication. So I got to write that. I had to write the Substack. I had to do show. I did an interview yesterday, a Bad Boss Brief. So I'm on the road, but the shit doesn't sleep, right? So I'm back in with this fucking thing. And in it is a Easter egg. And the Easter egg is something that I referred to a year ago. In the same kind of dark murmuring that I did for years about the Ozzy situation, and leaving many of you to think, the fuck is he talking about? He's well, in the fullness of time, everything will be known. And consider this Substack this week the opening salvo. I'm not going to tell you what the Easter egg is. Well, maybe I will. There's a name that I mentioned about a guy who's drugging and raping high school students in the Substack, and the only reason I mentioned his name is because by publicly doing so, I have set up a dynamic where I cannot kill him, but he needs to be killed. So there, I've shared the Easter egg with you. I'll leave the rest of the blanks for you to fill in. But anyway, I haven't been able to get my head out of it. Specifically, the chapters on, well, we thought we would spare you some grief by not showing you pictures of dead kids. Whoa, somebody from the Justice Department, you out of your fucking mind? I've had 4 kids go through schools. 4. And of those kids, okay, let's just listen to these numbers for a second. You got my oldest, my second, my third, my fourth. And so fundamentally, I've been going to schools for 30 years. And I've met every age grouping of kid that there is, from when they preschool, kindergarten, preschool, first grade, elementary, junior high, high school, college. And I think I can safely say that out of that whole clutch of friends and known associates of my daughters, I cannot say that any number of kids have turned up dead. No kids. How many friends did any of those 4 of my kids have? Put them all in a stadium. And how many of theirs have died? Not even as many fingers as I have on this hand. And yet, the pictures that were redacted from Epstein Island includes pictures of dead kids, plural. See, read the Substack, send it around. If the Shoes Fit was recorded yesterday, that's up and out. There's tour diary I'm writing for New Noise magazine, so it'll be useless for you to track that down because it's in French, unless you speak French. Did the Bad Boss brief on the Out of Normal show, recorded yesterday. It'll be up on Wednesday. Yeah. I mean, we're watching, and then when you see Sun Yi complaining about Howard Stern, oh man, you mean the girl who fucked her stepfather, had a kid with him? That one that was complaining about how Epstein's being treated. She should look at some of those fucking photos. And let me tell you something. Pulling strings to get your kid in the bar is like pulling strings to get your kid in the fucking McDonald's. Stupid. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going to, on the next week is the 15th. It's a day after Valentine's Day. I think I'll get a long drive to San Diego. I make no claims as to whether I'll be able to do the show then, but I will try. And please, God, let me have another week where I don't have sex offenders in my head for the entirety of that week. Please. Anyway, this is version 401 of the Eugene S Show Stomper. Thanks for listening. Try not to die between now and next Sunday, please, and I'll do the same. I'm not going to scream how I end the show the way I usually do. I'll just say, look what you made me do. Don't kill yourself, buddy. Oh, yes. Venue change. Sorry. Sacramento has now moved to Roseville, and Los Angeles has now moved to Glendale. I'm not going to spend the rest of the time talking about what. I'm going to write it first, and then we'll talk about it next week. 420. No, there's no show on 420. I got 420 stories I'll tell you about later. But now the show's got to end because I got to go. All right. Look what you made me do. Don't die, Blondie.
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Show Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Be sure to follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still on Twitter, he's at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3, that's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstomper.substack.com and become a subscriber today. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jujitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Brief podcast every other Wednesday morning, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated honest Amazon review. Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer. The Show Stomper has been produced by Original Designs, owned and operated by me, June M. Williams. I provide Eugene with videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at orijunels@gmail.com, spelled ORIJUNELS @gmail.com.